Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
We're
So,
back.
Tomato, I have to tell you, and this is also for Osobi Paints, that what I saw you tagging all those people who had said hello, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw Osobi Paints as SOB Paints, and I was like, well, that's an interesting name. So
Oh,
that's just a
oh.
little funny. Start things out today. Hello.
Hello, everyone. We're here. I am
Not totally wrong.
Bodacious
I doubt it.
Pie. Hello. Welcome to the
Bodacious
first time pie.
pie.
Pie chat.
Ooh.
We got first time chat from Bodacious Pie. Hello. Welcome. I hope you all have had a wonderful Wednesday.
Ishmael, or you could look at it the other way as Jason loves us so much that he's working so hard to bring more cool stuff to us.
Nah. Yep. Yep.
Did you scoff at that or were you agreeing?
No, that was me.
Okay.
Yeah, it was me acknowledging.
I thought you were like, eh.
No. No, I would have been much more.
Well, you know.
It is Independence Day Eve. I momentarily forgot that it was, in fact, Wednesday, and I thought it was Tuesday. But in my defense, I moved a lot of boxes today.
Yeah, we got a lot of boxes arrive today.
I am definitely tired. But I'm refueled up after lunch, and I've had a lot of caffeine.
They,
So,
the whole fulfillment crew was out unloading boxes this late morning, early afternoon, and I was like, I mean, I appreciate the speed with which everyone was working, but at the same time, I'm like, relax, it's hot out. Don't kill yourself.
well, that's why we wanted to get it done
Take
fast.
some breathers.
I mean,
See, I'm the
I was
opposite.
just, I was
go
jamming.
way slower when it's hot.
When
Unless
that sort
I'm
of stuff.
walking from inside to the car or car to the inside, then I walk really fast.
I'm weird with that sort of stuff. When it comes to like physical labor like that, until I like physically am having trouble doing it, I just like go.
I mean, I'm not gonna. You guys all look just wiped out. I was like, please go take lunch.
I remember you.
Please stop and sit down. Stop and sit down and drink some water.
I remember that.
Stay in the cool air. For a few
Jen was so
minutes.
kind to tell us to take a load off.
So here's a good question about metallics.
Yeah.
Chaos units, they always have one specific color metal trim depending on the armor. Since they are chaos units, why does it not randomly shift to different metals randomly? And how would you paint it?
Because it
hopefully
doesn't
you
have
understood
to.
Heck,
I mean,
just got home. Sorry, I got excited by the just got home from getting a tattoo. Sorry, I'll let you answer that question.
I mean, are you asking how to paint color shift? The way that I would do it is to just paint a gradient of color. So it's kind of like a transfer of metallic color from like a gold to a silver or a gold green to something else. Something like that. Now, Baby J, when you are done, will you put up the XX recipe up later? I mean, I did it on stream and I talked about it yesterday. Is that where else up would you like me to have it up? In Upland. With the upness. Also, what's up, Shelby? Who also was super awesome and super helpful today on the unpacking.
Shelby, I think, coordinated the whole operation.
If you message me on Discord, I will put it in there. You owe me an email. Hi.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
It is good. Thank you.
You know
It is
what?
a good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Hi.
You bring the stick?
No,
Gimmet Elay
Oh.
on YouTube's.
I'll go get it.
Go for a paddling.
There's a lot going on today.
Well, that's fair. That's fair.
There's a lot going on.
Shelby said, I definitely don't need to go to the gym today anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, give yourself a rest day because
Yep.
you've already had a good workout and a good sweat.
Ghost Hunter says, hello, cult leader.
Hello.
What you looking for over there?
Something.
do you even know?
Yeah, well, no, not really. But, I mean, kinda.
It's that one guy.
It's that one thing, that one guy thing.
You know,
Work
thing.
blocked Twitch. What? Well, that's a good thing we got the YouTube backup. Haven't played Age of Hunger yet, but opening that box is so satisfying.
You're telling us.
Brand new game. Jason maybe loves us. He does. I'll be truly convinced when he paints. Uh-oh.
What's that?
You gotta prove your love here by painting.
I do?
Yeah.
I think
My
the
love of what?
chat.
Them.
Of chat?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying to paint. I need a thing
He's
to paint.
looking for something. We don't know. We haven't yet determined if he knows what he's looking for, but he's looking.
That's always up for grabs.
Tasserith said that is a great turquoise. What color is it?
Yeah, so I can answer
really
here
pretty.
so that Avian can also know, because I know Avian was curious. So the workup is silver, just silver over the whole model. I thinned it down a bit to get a nice light spray.
So silver over like black primer, I assume.
Silver over
Yeah.
black primer, exactly. And then from there, I did a under spray with an airbrush of red transparent with some glaze and wash medium and some water at like a 1-to-1 ratio. That's where these dark purpley shadows come from. You can see underneath the kneecap there. There's also a whole bunch of stuff on the other desk in my office too. You want to peruse?
New stuff? What are my Carol Rudick vampires?
Oh,
No.
that would be
Things got rearranged and I don't know where stuff is.
Carol Rudick Vampires. It is probably towards the bottom, in that bottom corner. If I recall. Yeah, so silver, red underspray with red transparent, and then I went sprayed from the top with our metallic medium, which is a great way to bring that highlight back up. You can see how bright this is. And then from there, I thinned the crap out of our blue and our transparent blue and transparent green at a 50-50 mix and sprayed it over the model. And this is the result.
It's pretty.
It's pretty. I did mix a little bit of glaze and wash medium, or not glaze and wash medium, gloss varnish into that last mixture. I actually probably should have mixed more. It's not as shiny as I would like. But it has a nice shine to it. So that last bit of gloss varnish add, you can, was it down there?
Yeah.
Cool. It just gives it a little bit of that sheen. So you can adjust how much you want it to be shiny, depending on your preference of what you want your Alpha Legion to look like. But now I'm just going to be painting all the Under Armour, undersuit parts in black. And then I'm going to paint all the silver. I'm going to paint the face white because I'm doing a test run for the Command Squad that just came out. Because I really love the new Command Squad models. So I
Thank
want to
you,
get a
Dr.
box.
Game Delay said it's not just that it's a brand new. Game Delay has enjoyed opening the Age of Hunger box. Not just because it's brand new. The box is well put together, the presentation is clean, the art is attractive. There's a good place in the box for every component.
That was definitely the intention.
I love that. That's a good testimonial. Gabe, put it on the whiteboard.
Put it on the whiteboard.
Tasserith said, that's fantastic. I have the metallic medium and I've never used it.
Yeah, it makes for a great like final highlight for silver if you really want a touch more shininess to it. Just bear in mind that it is fairly translucent, So you might need to build up a little bit more than you would expect. But it looks really, really good when it's done.
Papa Chicken said with this Alpha Legion you did transparent over a metallic base. Have you experimented with mixing colors into metallic medium, and how
I
does
have.
the end appearance differ?
I most certainly have.
That many times.
So there's a different look and feel to transparent colors laid over a metallic than there is to the transparent colors mixed into the metallic. The way that the transparent lays over the shiny coat of the metallic versus the way that the pigment interlaces when you mix them together, it tends to be a more dull shine when you mix them, and you'll get a little bit cleaner, shinier metallics if you spray on top. Especially if you mix a little bit of that gloss varnish in as well. You got some cool options over there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't want to spend all stream building a model.
Yeah.
That's not fun. And a lot of these are a lot of pieces that need to. Well, that one needs to be cleaned a whole lot. That's a messy resin model. Come on, Carol Rudick, you can do better than that. That means all of these Carol Rudick ones are going to be pretty messy, huh?
Game Delay wants to know if you're coming out with any new Asura or character classes. I already know which class I want to play because it's objectively the coolest, but I'm interested in the plan.
Yeah, there are already. Oh, Gabe will kill me for saying this. I think there's already.
No.
I think there's already an additional 9 Asuras that are multi-class. That might be 6. But there's a number of Asuras that are multi-class that we have already play-tested and balanced that exist. We plan to release those assuming that the base game does very well. Or just does well, right? That you guys like it and everybody likes to play it. Then we've got those. The dual classes are really fun because they have 2 types of pierce that go outward and 2 types of pierce that they receive because the way the pierce chart works, obviously. For piercing is you do an extra point of damage if you are an Asura type against another particular Asura type. Call it your like yin and yang. If you're against your diametrically opposed creature type, then you do extra damage in piercing. And so the duels, while they get a lot more flavor because they tend to have more abilities, not more in quantity, but more abilities nested within their ability cards, they also get pierced from more sources. So the damage input is harsher too. So it's a neat kind of tactical play. There's some really good ones. So yeah, there's a lot more stuff coming, and we've got a longer term roadmap that can extend into all sorts of other types of really cool play styles and things like that. Should everybody like it, we're really excited. You want to hear this? Don't let Jason die first. Wait a minute, who's dying? Why?
Well, you said Gabe's gonna kill me if I say this wrong or something like
Oh yeah. Gabe kills me at least once a day. Like I fire Jordan, Gabe kills me. He stares at me with those eyes like, oh my God, why do I put up with you? You're reading the rules on the dual class and this was waking up your dormant, I've memorized the whole chart, dream of childhood. Yeah, we're super excited. We've got, I go off to, I don't know if they said it already, I go off to Dice Tower, so I won't be on the stream for the first 3 days next week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm in Florida with the Dice Tower gang, big YouTube channel that does board game reviews and stuff. So we'll be playing live and teaching them how to play and showing that off and talking biz, so that'll be a lot of fun. So
They'll probably be done with the live play by the time we start. Oh, no, yeah, well before. Because they're on East Coast time.
Oh yeah, it's 10 Eastern
and it's
time.
10 Eastern, yeah.
10 a.m. Eastern.
So if you guys want to catch it, we'll shout it out when it happens, so you guys can watch it.
10 a.m. Eastern on Dice Tower on Tuesday.
Tuesday, the 9th.
Is it on Twitch or?
It will be on YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
I think they do live stream on their YouTube.
They
channel.
live stream on YouTube. Yep.
So make sure you drop the Dice Tower channel on YouTube a follow if you're not already. Great gang and great content. And I'll be live streaming with them, teaching them the game, and then it'll go up on their live tab. They keep all that content available to watch later on too. So It'll be a lot of fun. Okay, so I got some choices. I'm not going to build these today, but this will be kind
I'll
of
tell
the
you
what do you
in a
want me to
minute.
do
Meticulous
next thing. I'll work more on. I got some other work that I can do, obviously. But here are the choices for what I paint next on stream. We can do Methuselah, this awesome vampire.
Oh, that's cool. His Vampire Zero is so great.
These are all Carol Rudick designs and sculpts. He's amazing. I have Lilith.
Ooh, I like that one.
Oh, that one's awesome.
Right? The safe for work version. There's another one of these that's insanely bad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's got like people doing the nasty on the floor,
Oh my gosh.
like worshiping her and stuff. It's crazy. So we got Lilith, and then we have the Baba Yaga.
Oh, I have the
Oh,
bust
me
version
too.
of that.
Right? That one enthuses me the least, I think. But.
I should bring mine.
And then I have a bust that I don't know where this came from, but it's a
Like a Space Marine.
it's a
type
rendition of the lion.
Guy. Oh, that's cool.
So it's a bust of the lion. Got bare head, no helmet.
Want to see Jason paint something alive, like Jordan?
Eh?
I am not body painting Jordan.
Please no.
Sorry.
Jason, much love, but no thank you.
Sorry. Not gonna do it.
I like Lilith. That's my Lilith.
So we got a lion bust. Lilith. This guy doesn't look like he has enough arms. Is there a piece missing here someplace? Oh, this shoulder, the arm you won't see. I get it. Okay, I got it. I got it. He's kind of got his sword like King Arthur in front of him.
Yeah, Lilith wins from chat.
Zombie pony. What? I don't even know where that thing is anymore.
Sheer fabric lesson.
Zombie pony?
Are we getting a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
Liliths?
Yes.
Oh, for like sheer fabric. The fabric's really thick. Like the way it's sculpted is fairly thick on her. So I don't know that that sheer would be my first choice, but that doesn't mean much. I could choose to do that. Yeah, the way it's sculpted, it's really thick fabric, right? The folds are really deep.
What about the? She covered? Is she wearing clothes?
Yeah. Well, yeah, she's got like a bikini top and bottom.
Maybe they.
Huh?
Maybe those wouldn't be sheer then. Maybe they would, but.
Yeah, usually if it's like a bikini top and bottom, I probably wouldn't do sheer. If it were like a dress or something like that,
Yeah.
that was super.
I thought she had like a more of like a sheet type.
Yeah, that would make more sense to
Yeah.
have be sheer.
Something arrived, Mike. I don't know whose day is made by it, but something arrived. Back to the question
Mike, you fool.
about.
You complete fool.
Meticulous Chaos said, "Can I get a recap on that blue workup?" I can do it real quick because I listened. He started with black primer, and then he painted silver over the top of that. Just sprayed silver over it, turned it upside down, and like sprayed from the bottom transparent red. Then mixed 50-50 transparent green and transparent blue and a little bit of gloss varnish. Is that correct?
You missed a step, but yes.
What did I miss?
The metallic medium from the top
I thought that was after the.
after the red.
Oh, that was after the red.
Yeah,
I
because
thought it was after
the idea is
blue.
that the spray from the top will correct some of the overspray from the red.
Gotcha.
So you end up covering up some of that overspray, so it's just in the shadows.
Okay, so straight silver over black primer,
Mhm.
transparent red up into the shadows.
Yep.
Metallic medium top down,
Mm-hmm.
and then 50-50 transparent blue, transparent green, and a splash of gloss varnish. Yeah.
To your taste.
To your taste.
Yeah. I wish I had
But
put
not
more in.
your mouth.
No, not that kind of
kinda
taste.
Papa Chicken would like a recap of the difference in mixing color into the metallic medium. Didn't listen, he said. Blaming it on his wife. Poor,
All right.
poor victimed wife.
So
there.
I'll do the short version. So the short of it is when you mix your metallic Ah!
I don't care for the message that is being sent here with this.
The Daymaker.
Don't you come over here by me. with that.
Don't you come over here with that.
I
So-
do, and when someone asked about the color, I at first was like gonna make it funny and talk about the color of my shirt, but
It's Space Marine blue.
It's Alpha Legion.
She's Alpha Legion. You have to right now, Jen. What you have to do for everybody to clip out there in the world is you have to say, "I am Alfarius." Go.
It's
I don't know.
it's not an innuendo. It's a genuinely good joke.
Do I have to say it in a specific way?
Nope, just say I am Alfarius.
Remember how you did? You need to burn the heretics, just like that.
What is it again?
I am Alfarius.
I am Alfarius.
Louder for the people in the back.
I am Alfarius.
There you go.
Clip it. Clip it.
Just
Everyone
so everybody
Alfarius.
knows what a maniac Mike is. This now has everybody in our office very, very scared.
I
Very-
just really hope it doesn't.
Very, very
I
scared.
don't think it will, but you never know.
Very, very scared.
It's seen use already.
That'll be a paddling.
Papa
We've already
Chicken,
had
I don't
people
think
in the
amazing
office
is
give
the
us really
correct
good
word.
ideas for how to set it up for like the punishment chart. Keith said we should have a spin wheel of punishments for when you're bad at Monument, and there's a little sliver that has the paddle on it, but it's like magnetized, so it never lands on it, but always gets close. So it always goes tick, so you never get a paddling. All hail the Daymaker.
All hail the Daymaker.
This is what we've become. Corporal punishment.
I don't think that it is.
The beatings will continue until morale improves.
That's not our policy.
That is not our policy.
That is not our policy.
And Spec Ops said it's got to suck when HR threatens you with a stick. He is not HR for that reason.
Okay. so to answer the original question about the why layer instead of mix, or what the difference is for your metallics and transparent paints, is when you mix your transparent paints with the metallic, you're overlaying the pigment with one another, so you end up getting a less shiny metallic effect than you would get if you were going to lay the metallic over the top. It works less like a filter, which is what the top, when you lay it on top, it will just filter whatever color's underneath. So that's basically the difference.
Jason, you need to start asking for cash.
Cash.
You know what I really want? $1 million.
No,
Is that gonna work? I don't think that's gonna work.
you probably didn't think it would work. to
You know,
get
my
this
day
either.
was better when I thought I was getting $1 million.
Who says you're not?
Insert big sigh here.
How about the punishment is where the subject has to take Cora out for walkies? She's actually pretty good at walking now, though. So that's not really punishment. That's a delight.
Jason got it from Jason. Awkwardish is asking where you got
Jason.
the plinth from. It's very
Yes.
pretty.
Papa Fisher. The Fisher King.
Yeah. Fisher King.
No, this is not from
Oh, it's not?
Papa Fisher.
I
No,
thought it
this is
was.
one we've had for a long time from, I'm not going to remember where it came from, to be honest with you.
Jacob Jensen?
No, maybe?
Who?
No, I don't think so.
You don't got $1 million, you could do 1,000. I mean, maybe if you didn't give away all those subs, you'd be closer to $1 million.
I have a pretty cool one from the Fisher King. That is just an
Yeah, he brought a bunch, and
Yeah.
I told Gabe to disperse them out amongst the crew
Mhm.
if you guys wanted them.
Yep.
I
I think
have
I'm
one in my office. It's really cool. It has a live edge on it, and is kind of a neat, like,
Mike, don't
broken.
do it. There are better ways to spend your money, Mike. So using the metallic medium, this is from Tech Elf, using the metallic medium could help with the shine for an OSL challenge.
no. Not the same kind of shine, right? So we're talking about reflective metallic versus illumination, right? So those are two different things. If you're trying to reflect light on metallic, and that's part of the challenge, then that could work for sure. Certainly could be a good option. But generally speaking, I would go a different route.
Mike, I don't know where you're going with this, but I said if you stopped giving out the subs, you would have more money.
Do you realize how many he
Or I
gave
said
out
you'd be
yesterday?
closer to 1 million. Because you said you don't have 1 million, you have 1,000. And I
He
said if
gave
you
so-
stop giving subs, you'd be closer to having $1 million.
He gave us 100 at one time.
I don't want to
right.
hear about this.
It's insane.
Give more subs noted.
Give more subs noted.
You know what we're going to do, Mike? We're going to send you a box of Q-tips.
Box of Q-tips.
Clean your ears, boy.
If you want
Oh,
to help the community, Mike, let's talk about some different ways.
Giving subs is awesome.
Oh, I mean, it's like, there you go.
Oh my god.
You can't stop him, so just not, we're just feeding the bear at this point in time. Mike, you complete animal. Thank you.
Is it gonna do all the alerts? Can
You
you
can
guys-
mute your computer.
Yeah, no, I just, it
It's
looks like
muted on
it's
the
muted
screen.
there. Okay, I just want to make sure. It, if you guys are still hearing it, let me know. I don't think you should be.
That shouldn't be. No.
Okay.
Everybody that just got gifted a sub, please reach out, use your new emotes, give some hugs, and love to Mike. He's gone insane lately.
Division Ring, I think you might be right. I think this is what happens when someone eats the paint. Mike, have you been eating paint?
Need an intervention
We need to get you some healthier snacks.
for Mike here pretty soon.
So just taking the satin black. I'm hitting all of these areas that I'm going to make silver or want to have just be black or a darker gray. Give them a nice dark line.
So I guess from judging from the conversation when I walked in, you guys have already talked about Angra going live tomorrow.
We talked about its arrival. That's about as far as we got.
Yes.
You weren't super. I mean, you came in shortly after stream started, so you didn't miss too much.
Angra
So
will
we
be
just
live
talked
tomorrow.
about how everybody pitched in and unloaded, and I had to force them all to take breaks, and because they were all sweaty and working real hard. That's as far as we got, really.
Angra should be live on the website tomorrow.
Eventually, everybody watching will have a sub. Then where do the gifted subs go? Exactly.
That's insane.
Although we've got like how many thousands of followers? 16,924 followers. So I think that's a lot of subs.
We have almost
That's way more
subs.
subs than Mike better buy.
Yeah.
You're not allowed, Mike. I'm telling you now. I will call your mother.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. Not 17,000. Let's that's a lot of subs.
It's like we should call Twitch and say, what does it take for us to just make sure that our people don't have to watch silly Toyota commercials all day? And see if they give it to us. I've been saying for years, so much to the point that we invested some of our own company money to try to develop our own streaming platform.
We did.
And we're nearly there, believe it or not, before our programmer disappeared on us and didn't ever give us the code.
Mike said that you said you would call his mom or something. Said she'd say you're acting like this is new behavior. So it sounds like she would not be surprised to get a call.
My acting like this, or you're acting like this?
Him
So
acting
she
like
knows
that.
you, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
would be saying that to you. Like, this does not surprise me. I've known him his whole life.
It sounds exactly like what my mom would say if somebody called and asked what exactly was up with her son.
Yeah.
She goes, "Isn't it funny?
Isn't it funny?
He's been doing that forever."
And you'd like me to do what about this?
Exactly. He's not my responsibility
Right?
anymore.
It's like,
It's
what-
generally what follows
He's
the
a
next
grown
sentence
man.
with my mom. It's like, hey, I did my part.
Yeah. It's like he's been doing this since he was a kid. What do
He
you think I'm
belongs
supposed to do
you
about
folks now.
Why are you bothering me with this?
it? Not my problem anymore.
Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Yep. Saying it to you, she's gonna say, "Why are you bothering me with this?"
She typically describes my childhood as he wasn't trapped with me, I was trapped with him.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah, that seems about right.
Like the story about the kid who gets kidnapped and then they return him because he talks too much.
It's like, we are very, very
Like,
sorry.
we're sorry.
Here's
can
your
have
child
him
and
back.
$100,000, please.
Let us pay you to take him back.
Yeah, please. Let's pretend none of this ever happened.
Ghost Hunter, have I mentioned that I dislike models with tons of gribbly bits on them? Steamforged Games Admiral Boom Howler. That's a good name. Has so many details to paint.
it's so weird hearing people say Steamforged
Yeah, Steamforged
games.
Games had absolutely nothing to do with Boom Howler, by the way.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
It's a privateer press thing. I mean, I get that they bought it, so now they can stamp their name on it, but that had nothing to do with them. So they can't be blamed for the gribbly bits.
Privateer can though.
Yep.
That good old rivet
Doohickeys.
quota. We always made the joke that there was a rivet quota.
rivet
for every
quota,
model. Yeah. Based on the base size.
Especially when it came to Kador.
Oh my gosh. Anything with a Warjack. Kador was really bad. Signar was bad. Although Signar had the offset of having other gribbly bits, whereas Kador was just like, these are just Warjacks. Oh, actually, the worst was Mercenaries.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Mercenaries was the worst. I had such good times playing that game back in the day.
Great game.
Yeah.
Oh, McSalty. Just seeing the picture of your haul, that is a good one.
What did McSalty get?
Everything.
Everything from us.
I mean, it looks like sets 1, 2, 3, 4, all 3 texture trainers, dry brush
Nice.
set, sable set,
Oh my gosh.
all the goodies.
You went all in. Pretty much. Tell you one thing you don't have yet,
Christmas in
though.
July.
Comes out tomorrow.
Christmas today, you said, yeah.
That's always the best feeling, is just getting that huge package that you've been waiting for.
Silver's Scratch Built Productions, hello.
Because of Mike, I'm learning that the best feeling is getting that package you had no idea you were waiting for. Like today. Big thing from Amazon. I didn't order anything from Amazon.
No, his new catchphrase is not going to be "That's a paddlin'."
It's funny.
Absolutely not.
Apparently, Mike had a hard time finding one that would get delivered here before the holiday.
I mean, that should have been a sign
Yeah.
that it was not needed. One thing you don't have yet is Monument Hobbies matte varnish. Well,
Soon.
someday.
Yeah, someday. It'll be a little bit. One of our raw materials is held up for a while.
Yeah.
So
Alright, I think that's most of it. Well, if I missed anything, I'll just go back and paint it later. Alright, now, ooh, silver. Or I think I'm gonna do, ooh. Or do I do magnesium and then silver? So the plan is to do Noosh after all of this is done, as a final step. Get it a little grimy. The question is magnesium or not to magnesium before the silver. I think we do the magnesium. I think it'll play really well with the the colors I'm going to use for the Noosh. And it just applies like a dream. Magnesium is amazing.
Kimberly said getting a mini with lots of gribbly bits is like ordering a food challenge at a restaurant. You think it's what you want until you're halfway through, and then you lie about still wanting it to end. Then you lie about still wanting it to the end.
you're committed. It's
You're
like, oh well.
committed. Like, I already said it. I gotta stick with it. Gribbly bits should be punishable by 30 lashes to the modeler. Hoosier said, I have noosh been too scared or unsure on how to use it. Don't be scared.
Jordan will show you the
Jordan
way.
will show you.
I am. We'll definitely get to it during the stream. The rest of this won't take that long to paint. Oh man, this teal really looks nice once you get all the other bits painted around it. I really like how it's turning out.
So Papa Chicken, that is like kind of a tricky question because we wouldn't, I don't think, make a color called uranium fever. Because what does that even mean?
Signar seems decent on the details too. All of them are really cool. They are the kind of design. So one of the biggest problems in making miniatures is having the design go from concept to completion in a way that befits manufacturing and painting, right? And the unfortunate thing is that some, sculptors, art directors, things like that, pile on the details, right? There's a little bit of a kind of a industry theory that, the more details, the more interesting your model is. And I think, a lot of that is validated through the fact that we had, very simple miniatures for so long. And that as 3D sculpting and other technologies became more prevalent, that the ability to add those details became easier and easier, right? And I've always joked that, you know, GW, just because now you don't have to hand sculpt all the gribbly bits, you can pull the skulls out of a folder on your computer labeled, wait for it, skulls, and you can simply,
You can rubber stamp them
yeah,
on
you
the
can
model.
rubber stamp multiplicatively skulls all over your model, and people just do, and art directors love it. They're like, oh yeah, more skulls.
A really weird
Skulls
thing.
for the skull throne.
Papa Chicken said Jordan needs to sing the Aladdin song to Hoosiers.
I'm
I
sorry?
can show you some noosh.
What is the Aladdin song?
Shining, shimmering, splendid.
Do you know this?
I can show you. Yeah, it's the.
I can show you the world.
I can show you the world.
I don't know this.
I don't remember the name of the song. I don't think it's that, but
Shining, shimmering, splendid. Song called.
I don't know what the name is. Hold on.
A Whole New World.
Whole New World. Yeah.
I
I was like, wait a
I was
second.
singing it
This
in my head.
this was a
until I get to
Lorcana
the
card that I
chorus.
used to
You
play a
got
lot.
there. You got to the chorus. A whole new world. I do know that part.
And Game Delay said, "Great googly moogly. The nose on the elbow is now disturbingly easy to see."
When I highlighted it,
Oh,
there's
The
one.
nose on the
that's
elbow?
nose.
There's one.
Oh, no.
There's one up
Stick
there on the
right out.
shoulder.
Oh, nose.
There's one on his wrist.
Oh no.
Oh, nose.
There's one on the wrist over here. There's another one kind of right there is growing. That might be an eyeball. I'm not sure. And then there's one. There's a whole face or head here. Yeah, it's kind of not right. My personal opinion on that whole thing.
Poor Pig Bacon said, "Thanks for the feedback on my giant model yesterday. I wasn't able to catch the stream live, but I did catch it.
He said you spelled his name wrong too.
Oh.
Earlier.
I didn't do that. I was not involved." Sector, any chance you guys will do a bigger bundle sale on the flip lids for people that have your entire collection? That's quite a tax. Our regular lids are great.
Yep.
No extra charge on those.
Sectorix, and also I hate, me personally as a product designer, we hate to hear that it feels like a tax. Our bottles with the twist lids are literally for sealing liquids the best lid you can get. It's why it's used in the food industry. It's why it's used in industries where the fluid in the bottle is important, as opposed to the dropper bottles that have been used for I don't know what the dropper bottle even comes from, nasal spray, I don't know. But, there's way more problems with the dropper caps and things like that from our competitors than you would ever imagine. If you haven't experienced them, you will. And so, we've had so many people that are like, oh my God, I don't like this new top, because it is new to paints. But then once they get used to it, they're like, oh my God, I love the top. We always say, hey, we offer those as a solution for people that want to have the different caps. It's fine. That's why we make them. We hate that it feels like a tax. It's not meant to be that. They're literally as dirt cheap as we can make them. So we don't make any money off of those tops. They're just done as a convenience for you guys.
There is
The number of people that have bought them and then gone back and called us and said, hey, I threw out all my originals when I got the flip caps.
Can I get
want the
originals?
originals back. Do you sell those by themselves? And we typically don't, but we will. But we always feel doubly bad when all those people come back. And I swear 50% of the people that have ordered in bulk the other types of caps come back and want twist caps again. It's insane.
Yep.
And it makes us feel bad every time, because realize that the cap that we sell with the paint on it actually seals, number one, right? The other flip cap and the other dropper do not. Just like the Vallejo droppers and Army Painter droppers don't seal. They just don't. They can argue with me all day long, they don't seal. So you're always going to have problems with the paint clogging. The paint clogs in the tip where it blocks the flow of paint, where ours, if there's any kind of a clog, it happens right here at the top. And when you twist it open, you can just flick it off, and now the paint still flows easily. So, I hated these tops. Let me just be honest. I hated these tops when they first got proposed. And I was like, nope, I want droppers. I was just like you. And then at the end of the day, when I started using them and I got used to it, I think it might have been Jen. I think it might have been you that said to me, you haven't been bitching about those tops. And I was like, oh.
Because I
Yeah, because I kind of really like them, you know. And people say, oh, but they're messy. You get the paint all over it and stuff, dude. If you looked at the amount of mess that are caused by the droppers over time, it's just not visible because it doesn't
It's
stay
covered
with
up.
you.
It's all underneath, and that's what gets clogged
Yes.
up, and it's gross.
It's also
And
likely you've never
don't
popped a lid off before.
Don't let yourself be so convinced by the vocal minority. That, like, we sell
Wait, I'm not supposed to listen to
hundreds-
people on the internet?
hundreds of bottles of paint a day and only a handful of alternate caps. So you might see people on Facebook or whatever saying, oh, these are the best caps ever. For the alternates, like, you should make these your regular caps. That's very, very few people. They're just the ones who comment. And it's just because it's what they're used to. So if you're an idiot and accidentally leave the top twisted open, is there an easy way to unclog or clean the nozzle?
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, you can basically. Yeah, I don't think I have just a cap. It's easier to do this if we just have like a sample cap, but I'll do it with one. Oh, I probably have a paint that hasn't ever been opened though. Over here someplace. Like. All my paints just got replaced as new. So, if you take the cap itself, it twists open and then it just kind of turns. If you give it a little bit of a pull, it pops off, and now you've exposed the area where the paint actually exits, and you can just poke out and wash this out. It's a foam O-ring, so water won't hurt it, right? So you can just wash this whole thing out if you get a bit of clumpiness in there, because yeah, if we have a lot of people that are like, they're just not used to the process of being able to have the cap stay on. So if it's not laying on their desk, they don't think about putting it back on the bottle. So they leave it open. But the only paint that's going to dry out is here, and then you can just poke that back with a toothpick and clean it out here, and you're good to go. Good to go. And it doesn't mess with the bottle or anything, right? It'd be goopy, so it might get you paint on your fingers, but you're fine.
Punisher said standard twist caps are far superior to dropper bottles, and it's not even close. Thank you,
Not even
Punisher.
close.
And Paint Liquor said, honestly, not having paint poops, fantastic. And that's, when you stop eating the paint, too. That's what your paint poops go away.
Thank you for that, Jen.
I know. I'm for you guys.
Yeah, no. If you guys have never popped a lid on a dropper bottle before, it is a nightmare.
One of our competitors sells a thing you can get that has a skull on it with a needle so that you can
poke out
unclog their
because
bottles.
they know they're gonna
So
clog.
let me explain to you.
I mean, it was probably smart of them, because I'm sure that they had to replace a lot of bottles that people squeezed so hard because they were clogged
You
that
don't
it just
even
blew
need
the
to
top
squeeze
right
that
off.
Oh, yeah.
hard.
Yeah, for sure.
Huh?
You don't even need to squeeze that
Yeah.
hard. That's the worst
Well,
The
that's
part.
the thing is
rainbow
that
in the
When
toilet bowl.
people
Come on.
squeeze and they're
Yeah.
like, it's not coming out. Why? I should squeeze harder.
Oh.
No, you should not.
You know what the other
Sectoric squish.
the crazy thing about our bottles, which I'm sure you know about, is that darn agitator never wants to come out of the bottle,
Oh no.
which means it never gets caught in the lid.
No.
We did that on
Everybody
purpose.
else's will clog their lid.
Yeah. For whatever reason, the way that they're designed, they just get
Well, it's-
stuck in the ridge,
it's
in the
intentional.
shoulder. Well, I know it's
Yeah.
intentional. Yeah, I don't know the exact, like,
Well, it's because of the size of the opening and
yeah.
the size of the agitator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
That's
the angle
specifically.
that we
Yeah, the angle.
molded the top
yeah,
in. 'cause
correct.
We had the top molded specifically for us based on
We
another
made these
design. Obviously, the
bottles,
design's
yeah.
not new, but the mold that we use for the caps is our own, because the need for stuff like that other people
Yep.
don't worry about.
It's amazing how much of a difference it makes. Like, it's hard to shake one of those things out of a bottle, which means you're never going to have the agitator clog the lid, like you'll
Right.
also see on
Which
those
is
other
another
types.
thing that people will squeeze and squeeze and squeeze.
Yep.
And then it blows out the top of
A lot of the time, that's what causes it.
Papa Chicken said, for some reason, my gray blue always comes out not completely mixed. Mixed is fine on my palette afterwards. Is there anything odd about that color's composition? Are you shaking it?
Nah, nothing specifically.
Paint Liquor likes the rainbow in the toilet bowl.
That was gross. I saw that.
I think I need to buy a bathtub full of your paint. I believe Slifus quoted me for $3,000. Just so you know, I'm considering it still for the internet meme. How long ago was that? We have a lot more colors
Inflation.
now.
Inflation. It's now
Green
$1
stuff, old
million.
fluorescent paints exploded with a clog tip. bottle of black primer that partly dried, but didn't end up throwing it out. Accidentally went to use it when priming a week ago and ended up pouring black molasses into the paint cup. Accidentally shook a bottle with the cap twisted open. Yeah. Yellow drops.
Good
all
God,
over
I've
my
done
legs
that.
and paint.
I have
Oh,
shirts that I'll
that's
pull
right.
out of my closet ready to wear, and I'm like, oh,
You could also just make yourself in the habit of just holding the bottle like this when you shake it. Just put your finger right over
Put your
the
finger
top.
on top of the lid. Yeah.
That way, you'll know.
Or on top
When
of
are
the
spare
nozzle. I
bottles
should
coming
say.
back into stock? We just talked about that today, but I don't know that we took any action on it yet. But this should be soon, I think.
they've got to do a little bit of research. Right now, we're down to that amount of bottles that we need for production.
Yeah,
So as soon as we get out of
gotta-
that,
take stock of them. And
luckily our bottles are made in the USA, so
Yeah.
it doesn't usually take us very long to get new restock. We're just in that point where the majority of our stock was down.
what is that? Did Mike send this to us?
No, Christopher brought.
Is it a stress reliever?
Yeah, it's like
Come squish the squishy cheese.
I gotta touch that.
Okay. hold
it's
on.
great.
Oh my god.
Mixalty. Our light just got brighter. McSalty said, in light of my haul, should I follow the brush cleaning tutorial for my new
Here you
Pro
go, Jason.
Sables? Would you recommend it for the Pro Synthetic
You
dry
squish the
brushes as
squishy
well?
cheese.
Definitely for the Sables. The dry brushes won't need it. The dry brushes don't have any. Well, the angled ones might have a little starch, but they're supposed to be stiff. You can just rinse that.
Jason,
Um, But the dome dry brushes, they don't have any of the shaping starch on them. So those are good to go right out of the pack.
It's very disturbing. It's really weird.
It's
I
great.
like
I can see it. As soon as he saw it, I said, I can see that being the thing Jen wants at home. She's
I
definitely
know.
into that kind of
I'm a
tactile,
very
squishy,
Tactile. I love
Squishy.
bubble wrap.
bubble wrap and
yeah,
squishy stuff. That's right up her
I
alley.
love it.
I thought it was like a block that you could squish, but it's literally
Smells
just
good,
like
too. No, I like
rubber
the smell.
with like squish on the inside.
I don't want to know.
Okay.
I don't want to know.
I don't want to know.
The brush goop looks like strawberry cake dough. Oh my god.
Why strawberry? Is it pink inside? Some of the Blood Walrus said some of the paints I bought at Adepticon have a slightly different cap, which I really don't like. I think you said at one time that it was an unfortunate supply problem issue. Can I buy some of the regular ones to replace them?
Not a supply problem issue. It was they have a little slightly less protrusion out of the top, I believe.
I think I randomly have one from that.
Four Pig Bacon wants to know where we get the sick beats for our shorts and intro.
That is
Christopher.
a
Sick
sushi
beats.
question.
That's just it's common. It's like we buy a license to use those that music, and it's just Creative Commons style music. You know, kind of like stock photo. It's like stock music. It's like lo-fi hip beats.
Yep.
But yeah, it's Chris's.
Chris is the
Chris's
DJ on
playlist.
that one.
Division Ring, you would not want to pay shipping on those.
But yeah, we can get you caps that just let us know. Contact support. Not a fan of treads and pieces. Yeah, some of the Rhino stuff. They have like a couple of long ones, a couple of medium ones, and a bunch of short ones. Yeah, it's not that great. They do
So she
the
says
curvature.
lo-fi.
That's why I love the resin alternatives to the GW tank stuff, because they usually do the whole side plate with the treads built in. It's like one big chonky piece. Forge World used to do that,
Yep.
where the treads were just part of it.
They don't do it as often now on their plastic tank kits.
Division Ring
All treads are
Canada is
separate.
really messing with you people. Your government needs some money, so they're
Oof.
getting it for everything that crosses the border, sounds like. Getting into the country costs an arm and a leg. So the healthcare is to take care of the stump. Is that what it is?
I love how Canadians always say that. Well, we have free healthcare.
Did you see that Mike noted your bubble wrap love? We got bubble wrap, Mike. Don't send any bubble wrap.
We've got bubble wrap for days.
Unger got delivered today. 14 freaking pallets of a game got delivered today. We have no space for anything.
We don't have any space for anything.
Period. Jen's office. Did you take a picture of your office? You should have taken a picture of your office and showed it to him. Did you? Jen's office. She better become a really good gamer because she's got all the games in there.
I think I have like 1,500 boxes of it.
That's Jen's office.
Yeah. It's insane.
That used to be where her guest table was.
They did not make me a fort.
They did not make their way into Jordan's office that I know of.
No.
No. Somehow he skirted that one.
Yeah, I don't know how he got out of it.
To
Chris
be
and
fair-
Gabe's office has a tremendous amount in it, though.
Yeah.
They threatened to bring him in mine, and I said people would die, and I held up the cricket bat.
I don't need anything, Mike. I got everything I need right here.
Did you not hear that we just said we don't have any room? Did you not see my picture? Jordan's office
Mike?
is full of boxes.
Mike?
Right, Jordan?
Yeah.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Yes. Well,
We have
it
no
actually is
room.
full of boxes right now. Unironically.
Mike. James, how do you buy the game? Tomorrow it'll go live on the site.
Yep.
So under the general shopping tab where you have paints and brushes and all that, it'll be games and Age of Angra. And the landing page with the videos, how to play video and all that stuff will be up there. We've already got a digital app on the App Store that is free that you can download that's a life tracker that also allows you to just pick your Asura. What 2 Asura do you have? It automatically assigns the right life total to them. So we've got a lot of really cool stuff going on with Angra. It's a lot of fun.
I don't think that Mike realizes that I am literally the person who is least in need of storage at the workplace out of anybody here. Because my apartment is due 50 feet that way, basically. I do not need extra storage here.
Ricardo Remus said, your miniatures look awesome. You guys are masters of the craft. Very enjoyable brush stroking.
Well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Safe. I buy a gallon of Wizard's Butt.
I'm at that point on this guy where it's just kind of filling in the details. It's like trying to find the last puzzle piece when you're building a puzzle.
I'm doing the veteran helmet thing. The white veteran helmet. Which I think looks really good.
A little off
Oh, sorry.
Nope, we don't sell. We only sell paint in 22 ml bottles. Nothing larger. Oh, who has plans for July 4th?
Well,
Anyone?
that's right.
I got
We will
nothing.
not be streaming tomorrow because it is a holiday and Monument Hobbies will be closed. We're taking the day off.
But Friday is our birthday stream.
And Friday is our birthday stream.
It's gonna be fun.
Because tomorrow is technically our company's anniversary.
Yep.
Correct.
July 4th.
The only question when you get a bottle of Wizard's Butt is, do you use it or frame it?
Yes.
Yes. Use a little bit and then frame it. Yeah, we give the whole team the day off for our anniversary, actually. We're very generous like that.
Yep.
Don't tell Jacob that. We told him that he gets the day off tomorrow for working so hard today.
Oh.
They think this is performance based.
Plan for Mick Explosion Day is to take advantage of the fact that the U.S. office will be empty, so nobody will bother me. That's nice. Speaking of frame, how's the Golden Demon frame, Jason?
Great.
It's right there. I can see it.
Right behind me.
That dry real quick. Can I borrow your?
No.
There you go.
Thanks for asking, though.
I'm gonna steal your transparent white.
That's how you do it.
Borrowing requires me to do something. So no.
Jordan, how's the Golden Demon Snake Boy?
It's great.
Great.
Just like the frame.
Anyone seen the fireworks versus fingers shorts on YouTube lately? Lots of those peeps end up looking a bit like Eustace. Stay safe out there.
Eustace P. Vanderbanger.
I always see the memes around this time of year as there's a lot of people are waking up. Will wake up tomorrow not knowing it's their last day with all 10 fingers. Or they'll wake up today not knowing it's their last day with all 10 fingers, is the way it goes, I think. Someone asked earlier about the plinth. I don't remember who, and it's gone. Oh, Cuthbert, where did you find that plinth? We were talking about this earlier.
I have no
And
idea.
I don't think we remember.
I have no idea. It's been something that I've had on the shelves back here for a long time. I have a couple of these live edge style blocks. And I've got one that was from Gabe's dad. I don't know. We used to sell them on the site years and years ago when we were Slow Fuse Gaming for a quick minute.
That was CK Studios.
Oh, it might have been Caleb.
Yep.
Yeah, it might have been Caleb. Cuthbert, yeah, they're really good. It's just a nice hardwood. Cut nicely to let that live edge be part of the whole deal, so you don't have to, I mean, a thing like this, I don't have to touch it. Mathis, what's going on?
Hey, Mathis.
Hello.
Ricardo said, would you guys paint the plasma coils the same color as eye lenses, or would you change it maybe a bit or a lot regarding color harmony and viewers' attention of focus points?
That's a good question.
I tend to like to change it, but it depends,
Depends
on the
recipe.
composition.
Yeah.
Your composition might say that you want all of those bright, shiny colors to be the same so they don't look like a clown suit, depending on how many you've got going on. And other times, if you're doing red lenses, it might be neat to have a bluish, cooler color glow on the plasma.
Mm-hmm.
The model dictates a lot of that.
Yeah. Like for this guy, I'm doing red lenses, but I'm going to keep the plasma blue. Hi, everybody. How's everyone doing today? Mathis, I'm doing great. I'm a little tired. Did a lot of throwing of boxes around today, but other than that, I'm doing good.
Our first ever game release showed up from
Mm-hmm.
shipping today, so we are excited. We've got that to launch over the 4th of July weekend here. You'll be able to get your hands on our first game, Age of Angra. And the gang had to offload it from the truck and into the building today.
Yeah, 14 pallets worth.
A lot.
That's a lot of games.
And you may be thinking, what? No Kickstarter?
Who needs Kickstarter these days, anyways?
We do things the old-fashioned way. We still believe that if you're going to buy something, it should ship to you when you pay for it. I know, we're crazy.
Mike is what, $900 and never to be restocked?
Huh?
But is it $900 and never to be restocked?
Are we talking about Kingdom Death?
It's from Mike, so it could be. Else.
Nope, it's $35. And we got plenty of them, and we'll make more if you guys like it enough to buy it out of stock.
Action VS said, how long have you been working on that game? It's like your life's work of playing tabletops, right?
No. It's actually designed by a friend of mine, Ben from Dino God Studios. He produces video games. He actually develops video games, not just a producer. He has his own video game studio, put out by Annapurna. His first game with Annapurna comes out is called Bounty Star. And Bounty Star comes out hopefully later this year. It's been held up a bunch because Annapurna's really putting their effort behind it and want it to be a really big deal. So they just had like a video game expo, bunch of interviews. So he's doing the whole marketing tour for Bounty Star right now. I'm really excited for it. If you're into video games, it looks super fun. It's got some base building, mech combat. You're a war veteran who has settled off in the countryside on this alien planet, has some kind of Outworld style vibes to it. But anyway, he has been a video game producer for a long time, and he doesn't sleep and just loves making rule sets. So he started making tabletop games, and we sat down and I said, well, we need to get these out to the world because these are fun games. And so if anything, it's just a labor of love of, helping a buddy see the realization of his dream of making tabletop games, because Ben and I met playing War Machine, actually, and became quick friends on our War Machine game nights, which used to be Wednesday nights back in the day before the vid. And so we became fast friends, and we're always talking about games and rules, of course, arguing about War Machine rules and stuff like that. And so it's just been a great journey there. So this has been better part of it, maybe a year and a half coming along on this. And then he's also designed our second game. So that game is already in pre-production. It's getting balance tested and play tested by the internal group here and by Ben and his team. So we're well down that path. We're working on contracting all of the art with our character developer. We're trying to keep all the art on the second game done by the same person. And that's been a struggle. So because of the amount of time it takes to create an entire game's worth of art, but it'll be a lot of fun. Am I going to be on Space Marine 2 multiplayer when it comes out? I don't know.
Ricardo wants to know how you can paint and talk simultaneously. He's been doing this a while.
Yeah, I mean, I've been streaming since 2012. And of course, with video games and such, you get used to being in the thick of the action while still talking to chat and things like that. And painting makes that much easier. Nothing's trying to kill me while I'm painting and talking.
And somebody asked if it was a miniature. Oh, Meticulous Chaos asked if it was a miniatures game. It's a card game.
No, so our first game, Age of Angra, does not require miniatures to play. It is a fighting game, like a Tekken tag is the best way to describe it. You pick two Asura, two creatures, and those creatures go in a forward and back position. So you have a support creature and a fighting creature, and you can move them how you need to. They each have their own health pool and defense and stats and abilities. And so the tactical part is looking at what your opponent is doing, who they're putting out, and then trying to counter that and be strategic with who you place out to be fighting, because your main forward Asura will take most of the damage and also deal most of the damage, but your support can do things. So the combos that you put together are really good. There's 9 Asura in the starting pack, so there's a good number of combos you can make out of that. And there's more Asura planned and more expansions planned for the game. And so it plays like a fighting game, and you can imagine like each, in a fighting game, you're pressing buttons madly and you're hitting and punching and doing the things. And if you slowed that down, Ben put it the best. He says it has all of the depth and width of a fighting game slowed into slow motion. So you put your guy out there, you pick your ability, they're arranged like a D-pad on a PlayStation controller, your 4 abilities for that creature, and you pick your ability and you kind of rope it up with your opponent as you pick your abilities as what you're going to do, and they can see it, you can telegraph it or not, and then you apply damage and you play another round. And the victory points in it are also the resource that you have to spend to cast spells, because you as the player are what we call a shepherd. You're the the human that can communicate and kind of not really control and befriend these creatures to get them to fight for you. And as the shepherd, you're magically tuned, and you can cast spells that support and assist your team or damage the other team, depending on the type of shepherd class you pick. There's 4 shepherd classes. But the resource that you have to spend to cast those spells that are very, very heavy duty, like they have big game-changing spells in every sense of the word, but they cost the resource that at the end of the game you count to see if you win. The person with the most of this resource in a lot of the scenarios is the person that wins. So it's always like, do I cast this spell that can really help, or do I hold on to it and risk losing the game? Because you also lose the game if both of your Asura get knocked out. So
Matt said I got linked to a funky Kickstarter yesterday about alternative shaped polyhedral dice
what's this?
over here. The company calls them gyroids, and there's all sorts of math nerd stuff going on behind them in an attempt to have fairer dice for every number of sides variant. Very niche product, but it was interesting to see.
Oh, funky Kickstarter. I see. Polyhedral dice. The company calls them gyroids. Oh, gotcha. Math nerd stuff. Nice. Yeah, this our game has absolutely no randomness to it. There's a particular shepherd class, and there's one Asura that you roll a d6 or d3 and get a peculiar outcome, but it's part of their story, like the randomness of their story and what you get. Like gambling, one of them is a gambler, and so you roll to gamble to see what you get.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and but there's no dice rolling in it. It's literally go out, do your thing. It says it does 6 damage, take 6 damage, nerd. You know, and it's very fast and bloody that way. A game, once you've learned and are playing with an opponent that knows the game, should take maybe 30 minutes to play through 5 rounds. You know, so it plays very fast. Holy loud.
It was so loud.
What
This
the
is
heck?
muted.
But
I thought I had the audio muted, so we shouldn't hear that.
What
yeah,
the
I wouldn't
heck?
think so. But so yeah, it's got a lot. But the original question was, is it a miniatures game? It is not a miniatures game in the traditional sense. We are making miniatures, 75 millimeter miniatures. You know, what do we have here that's 75 millimeter?
I did not turn this volume up like that.
So like
It was
the
for sure
like.
muted, so we didn't have to listen to this.
So this is 75 millimeter, you know, like against BattleTech, right? So they're fairly sizable, but they're chunky enough to have some really good details on them. This is not one from the game, but they're 75 millimeters to 90 millimeters tall, and they are of the Asura themselves, the different ones. And we have 3 of those that we've already sculpted that are getting supported and printed masters right now, and we are going to be doing those in high quality 3D prints. To keep them at low cost. So they'll be kind of like our texture trainers. You'll be able to buy them and have fun with them, and you can eventually, if they go well, you'll be able to buy your favorite Asura and paint them up. And each of those miniatures will come with a custom card that is the same size as the card you normally play in the game, the full art card. And these cards will just have the stats and a circle where you can put your miniature on it. So if you want to have the meeple, you know, the avatar on the field to play with, you can. But it has no impact on the game at all.
Mike, I don't know. My volume is all the way up. I tend to push the desk back because this keyboard thing hits my leg. So I sometimes move too far away. But the volume's way up. I don't want to turn it up any higher. It'll get...
We need
Weird.
to get Chris in here and regain her microphone. A fighting game board game sounds nice. Admittedly, it's got some big shoes to fill with some of the greats in that genre. Yeah, believe it or not, this game doesn't play like anybody else. Like I said, it literally is Tekken or Street Fighter video game. So it's not like Pokemon or things like that. It's pick your combo, play the game, you know, then switch your combo up. Blind pick is a lot of fun. Turn all the cards over, pick 2, play with what you get. There's all sorts of things you can find that you'd never think of, because each one of the Asura classes is a little bit different. There's 9 different Asura, each with their own, because there's 9 different, if you want to call classes or races of Asura, and from demons to angels to robots to the fairies. So there's a whole bunch of different classes. They all have kind of their own shtick in the way they play. It was really fun. You can play for points or murder. Yeah, exactly. Please tell me that there's a Mech Asura that's 75 millimeter. There's a robot.
Yeah.
There's 2 robots. Well, one in the base game, right? And the other one's a duel, I think. Robot Angel.
Yes.
Um,
But that one of them is sculpted.
Yomi or Exceed. Okay, yeah, so I don't know those. There's a bajillion board games, so it's very niche stuff. So,
Yeah, Exceed is very different.
do you need a second set so you can double up on Asura? Yes. If you want to have 2 of everything, yes. And you can play multiples of the same one because Asura are not named characters. That's the race or classification for them. So like Umamu is a group of Asura that do this thing, that have this bestial feel to them. And so you can play with 2 Umamu. They generally, don't combo as well with pairs of the same thing as they do with pairing another class of Asura with them, but you can definitely do it, and they're balanced that way. So it's a super fun game. It's frustrating in the best way because, like Jordan was saying the other day, you can feel like you've got it completely under control, and then the last turn
Yep.
feels like a rug pull.
Yep,
You're
that's
like,
what
I'm
happened to
whooping
me.
your ass, and then your opponent does this one thing, this one combo, puts cooldowns on all your stuff, so you can't use what you needed, and flips the script on you, and all of a sudden it's like, I win by 1.
It's funny that he mentions that because I believe that's how our game
I
went.
think that's exactly what happened. Is I put like 4 of his his abilities on cooldown on the last turn, so he couldn't do anything.
Papa Chicken, why is it the best day ever?
Because he wants a mech.
Oh,
But there will be Asura card packs in the future, T-Schmid. Yep. Yeah, again, we're approaching this with the way we do with all of our products. We want to see how the base game goes, and we are set to be able to turn the key to do all these other things. New Asura card packs. We plan on releasing the Asura expansions in sets of 3. So there would be, possibly 4 additional expansions. I think we have enough to do 12 more right out of the gates. A minimum of 3 that we would do, where you would get new Asura in there, the dual class Asura and such, and then you just buy the Asura to come with their abilities, and maybe we didn't put in another instruction card in there, but. And if we come out with new talismans, things like that. But you don't need new life counters or anything like that. There's enough life in the box if you're just using the cards to handle all the Asura we have planned.
Oh, also, the app.
Hmm?
The app.
I talked about the app earlier.
Oh, on
Yeah.
stream? Oh, okay.
Yep.
I must have missed it.
Yeah, there's
There's
an app on the App Store. Just you can go on the App Store right now and do Age of Angra, and it's free to download. I'll show it to you. Oh, I can't on my phone. But there's an Age of Angra app. I'll go get my phone.
I have it.
In your pocket?
Yeah.
Do you have the app on it?
Yes, I do.
Oh, cool.
I most certainly
Jordan will show
do.
you the app. Yeah, the app's cool because it lets you pick you the Asura that you're playing with.
Ooh.
So the companion app is really, really nice. So it keeps the life totals there for you, kind of like a magic life counter, right?
Let's do this.
Start a new
And then you
game.
can pick.
Out of the 9,
So I'll pick Devondra,
you have to put it in a place, then select the next place.
and then
That's-
we go
yeah.
Horse God, Origin, and Upadravi. We're done.
Boom.
And then it puts the pictures on each side, and it sets the health too, which is great. And then you can just boop, 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 boop.
Yep.
It's amazing. And you just go to setup, and then you can
Yep,
do
yep,
that. Got access to the rules as well. Great. We got the rule book on here. So, it's awesome. Works good.
Mike, when are the minis coming? Not sure. I'm waiting for word back. All of the sculpts are completed and off to the manufacturer here. We're using a partner company here in the United States to do all of the supports and the masters. And then as soon as we get that and approval, then I'll have a better time frame for you. What was the reason for life counter cards versus dials? Just because the whole thing is a card game, and to make the dials and the custom molds, all that drives the price up. We had a real good price target we were trying to stick to, which was that sub $40 for the whole game. We feel like you get a lot in the game. We wanted to do that hard game board style board rather than like a cheap paper fold up. So there was just some tactile things we wanted to do. And in order to get it all to work right, we needed to not do any kind of custom plastic molding for a dial. And we didn't want to use like just some cheap dial that you would get in some other board game. We wanted to do something that was a little more. And the cards are nice because, it's visible to both sides very quickly to see where you're at, which is a big part of this game. You don't want to rope-a-dope on what your health is, and having it on a little dial and your opponent can't see it, can make some feels bads. The cards are 2x2s, so you can see from across the table how much life your opponent has very, very quickly, which keeps the speed of the game going. But it doesn't preclude us from making custom dials in the future. We have a good idea for one, and we just didn't turn the key on it. Your software engineer friend that designed a board game also wrote a companion. He's not a software engineer. He's an artist. He's a game developer and an artist. He paid a guy to build the app. But yeah, when he came to me originally with the game idea, he goes, "Oh yeah, and I have an app too." And I was
like, what?
I was like, "Did you make it?" He goes, "Oh, I can't do that." He's like, "Yeah, I paid a guy to do it." So yeah, so it's on the Apple Store and on the Google Play
Google Play Store.
Play Store. Yeah, but it's a lot of fun. A couple of guys like T. Schmidt Game Delay won it in a giveaway, so they've got it in hand. They can attest to the quality of it. It's a good quality game. Spin down D30s. We thought about all that. You know, we've played enough games with all the life counters in it, and Ben, as a developer, was like, "No, I really want to stick with a card so that it's very fast and big numbers, you know, and we don't have to worry about it, and have the app." So you have a free app that you can put on your phone, which is better than anything.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
that's better than any little twisty dial that'll break or cheap thing we could put in the box that would drive the price of the game up and not really offer any value. So. I love it. His Pro Acrylidex. The last paints I need to finish my Pro Acrylidex. I love that, Papa Chicken. That's a good term. How big is your Pro Acrylidex? All right. Time to bust out the airbrush.
Uh-oh. He's doing it, folks. You gotta say something funny to him when you walk over there.
Oh, trust me.
Uh-oh. They know it's coming.
You know how much I love you guys?
That much.
About that much.
Oh, man. I love you guys exactly that much.
You know how much I love you guys? About that much. They know I love them.
Awesome, Panicon.
Mathis, will we expect to see the game pop up on Board Gaming YouTube channel soon? So I'm at Dice Tower next week.
Someone
Yeah.
We're
earlier
doing a
asked-
live play and teach, a game and learn session on their YouTube channel with Dice Tower, one of the biggest. And so that's going on next week.
Someone
Tuesday.
earlier asked if you knew who you would be working with at Dice Tower or something, or who you'd be on with or something like that. I don't
So the way that they run it, they don't know who of their group will sit in on the gameplay. I'm going out to dinner with Chris and Tom and Emery on Tuesday, and then after the show, I don't know who I'll be playing with, but it'll be a good time regardless.
I'm very excited for that. Be great.
I'm excited for everything except being out of the office. That's just my nature.
Yeah, I know.
It's like you want to ask him, how much extra does it cost to fly you here?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you guys just play here?
I'm getting so old and grumpy about travel. I'm just like, do I have to go someplace? I kind of want to just stay here.
All right. Pretty much done with the white helmet.
Division Ring said real test of board game design. Does the box fit sleeved cards?
Yeah. Does it? I'm assuming we checked.
Yeah. No reason why I wouldn't. There's extra depth in the box. That should. The
Next
Asura
thing-
cards are big. all of our cards are off size, right? See, the Sura cards and the Shepherd cards are large, like 3x5s. I think 3x5s. And the other cards are all square. 2x2s or 2.5 by 2.5. I don't remember exactly.
Batsnet said next game, start with a hex board and players select a number of Pro Curl bottles for their pieces. Each color has a different way to move and abilities.
Yep. We're actually doing a cooking game about Pro Curl
I'm sorry, what? Jason?
called Don't Eat the Paint.
Did we run this by HR first?
We're doing a game called Don't Eat the Paint. And it's all of your avatars are Pro Curl bottles.
You want to show some stuff?
Sure, yeah, oh yeah. Gabe's over here opening up a game. We can show some stuff off. Look at this. Take the opportunity to do some talking. You can just toss it all up here and I'll pick through it.
Mathis said you're going to make nerds cranky if your cards are uniquely sized and they're not sleevable.
Well, life's rough. They're sleevable. Their sleeves this size. We checked on all that. So some of the Asura, the Horse God, Yavata. The first ones to get miniatures are Danav, who is a demon.
That model is sick.
The
I
Danav
cannot
model
wait
is
to paint
absolutely amazing.
that. Yeah, I cannot wait to paint that.
Devandra and
Also very cool.
Jin, Kamar to Jin are the three first ones. Jin is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Not Jin, but Jin.
Sounds like you're saying Jen. I'm like,
Jen,
what? No.
Jin, Jen, Jin.
Jin,
Jin.
and Jen. So yeah, so this model's awesome. I love the little like Scottish Terrier in the genie lamp that she's got. So it's a lot of fun. Ben did all the original artwork. It's in this very kind of pseudo comical style, right? Devandra is the kind of mechish one that we were talking about, right? So he is a mechanoid, and Danav as a demon. You've got like Ekaminu, who's kind of like an undead zombie, right? Johanni, the trickster. Umamu, the beast. He's my fave. I want the model of this. He'll be in Wave 2 models. Upadravi's also cool. I want to do a model of Upadravi.
Shelby said you joke, but I would play the hell out of a Pro Curl cooking game.
Yavata. Angel.
Invidiosa 12 said next game idea Candyland by Pro Curl.
Candyland.
That would be a little misleading because we don't want people to eat the paint.
We've got each of the boxes comes with 2 how to play startup guides, just real quick play guides. It's a very fast, fun game. Yeah, you've got scenario cards, right? So the base form is sanctioned combat, right? The end of battle is after 5 rounds. All said with last battlefield stage. Yeah, so I think it's 5 rounds. Oh no, it's 7. Right. So whenever you flip the last battlefield card, you count up your charge tokens, and your charge tokens you spend for spells and also as your win condition. And then you've got a bunch of different scenarios that change the way the game plays. Some of them are, kill scenarios where you got to take out both of your opponents. Asura. And then you've got 4 different shepherd classes. The occultist, the combat minister, the beast mage, and the tech monk. Right? And they each have different spell books that they can cast from, and different amount of starting charges and different passives that give them charges each turn, so that they've always got resource management capable. It's a lot of fun. It has a lot of depth. The combos and things you can do are pretty crazy. The battlefield effects are really neat because you've got these battlefield states. And the defender, there's an attacker and defender at the beginning of the game. The defender gets to pick the battlefield. So you get to go through all your battlefield cards and determine what you want to have the battlefield look like. So if you pick 2 Asura that do a lot of spiritual damage, you can come through here and say, okay, I'm going to pick the ones that allow me to get benefits by doing spiritual damage, right? So you can set up your own battlefield to work the way you want to. Here's one that says, if any of the defenders of Suros do spiritual damage, increase it by 1. So you'll do extra damage. And the charge condition is if a sheriff is a Sura do 8 or more total spiritual damage, they receive 2 additional charges at the end of the battlefield, or at the end of the battle turn. So, you get to kind of build your team and then set the battlefield up to benefit you and be a detriment to your opponent, which is kind of fun. And then you just flip these over turn by turn, and when you get to the end, they're done. You got some neat talismans that give you different bonuses. Each Asura can have 1 talisman, right? So, 1 less piercing damage, different amount. You can get, addition to your spiritual damage, take less spiritual damage, additional speed and attack power and things like that. And then all of the abilities. Each Asura comes with 6 abilities. So this is Juhani's.
T. Schmidt said, is the charge bonus correct on the rain card? It was the only card I saw that was a 1 charge bonus.
Might be. So Juhani's, they're all color coded. So the blue ring will tell you that these are Juhani's. It also says Juhani. But each character has their own specific set of abilities. So Juhani's got 6. You pick 4 during each game. So you've got 6 to choose from. Pick 4 of those that you want to play with, again, based on your opponent and such. And you have light and heavy versions of each attack. Some of them don't. Some of them only give you like a heavy version. And they each have their own cooldown, how long it is before you can reuse the ability. And different abilities to do things like swap your opponent's position, move their Asura around, do extra damage, stun them. It's very, very cool. We like it. That's why we made it.
Game Delay said, I was punching out the status tokens, read some of the names out to my kids, and we really didn't want to get some of those.
Didn't want to what?
Get some of them?
Oh, yeah, have them applied to you.
Oh, are there, some of them are bad?
The spear gun one is good.
Are you varnishing, Jordan?
I am. I'm doing a coat of gloss varnish.
Got a weird haze over there.
Oh, is there?
What's that?
A little hazy.
It's a little hazy over here.
Did Jordan use metallic medium for that armor effect? He did.
He
At
did.
one point.
At one point, part of the process.
Part of the process. Started with silver over black primer. I'm going to get it right this time. Black primer, silver over the whole model, transparent red up into the shadows, metallic medium from the top down, 50-50 transparent blue, transparent green, and a smidge of gloss varnish sprayed on the whole thing.
To taste.
To taste. No. Not to taste.
I got her to say it, Jason.
As you should.
Satin black, and what else?
Satin
Magnesium.
black. This was just, the white was just neutral gray, and then some transparent white, and then some bold titanium white. I'm going to do a filter over the whole model, so it's going to get changed up a little bit. And that's it. The silver that I painted on afterwards is magnesium, and then magnesium plus silver, and then silver.
So yes, Mathis, in the middle, kinda. Yeah, T. Schmidt asked a good question. What's everyone doing tomorrow for the 4th of July? Did I already ask that? I don't think I
What's
did.
that?
We talked
What's
about it very
everyone-
briefly.
What everyone is doing tomorrow for the 4th of July.
Yeah,
I got nothing.
you asked.
I did ask.
You did ask.
I don't remember anybody's answer.
I don't think anybody did answer.
Oh.
I got nothing.
Oh.
Unfortunately, my friends and families do not live around here. So,
Yeah.
You have friends here. Ding-a-ling.
oh well,
You got a whole bunch of people you know here.
yes, I do. I have not been invited to any 4th of July.
It's hot.
A bunch of nerds around
I
here
don't
don't do
think
anything
people
anyway.
do a whole lot here on 4th of July, I guess.
It's not. Yeah.
I'm not complaining.
Yeah.
I got video games to play, Elden Ring bosses to kill, cool AC conditioned.
Still stuck with 2 bosses.
Working tomorrow because you're Canadian. Well, didn't you have like Monday? You probably had Monday off, right?
Yeah,
You guys always have a holiday right around ours.
they do.
Copycats.
You know.
Thieves. Thievery. Silly
Shelby's
Canadians.
playing video games, doing crafts. Because it's hot. Sounds like a good day. Jordan's got snake boys to clean and dragons to gap fit. I told Jason it would be a good day to teach me Age of Hunger. See if that happens.
To do what?
Teach me how to play Age of Angra.
I remember this conversation.
Lot Tomatoes going to a party all day. There will be a combo of outdoor grilling stuff and indoor game stuff, then a long weekend with all kinds of new Star Wars unlimited goodness. Hoosiers has almost $1,000 of fireworks to shoot off.
Oh my
Not a
gosh.
lot. I don't know how much fireworks cost.
But enough that's a lot of fireworks. What are you doing the filter on here? What colors are you using?
I'm doing dark jade and shadows right now.
Nice. I always love these final steps where you go back in and you filter over everything with a nice shadow after everything else is pretty much done.
Can add some nice depth.
Awkwardish Panda, I like this answer. Awkwardish Panda said, we'll likely be watching men in tight pants suffer the Tour de France with the volume up to protect the dogs from America's favorite game, thunder, gunshot, or firework.
Yep.
I love the one thing that I love about our neighborhood is that they're not like insane about fireworks. I heard a couple, I think Sunday, but in our old neighborhood, they would have been setting them off for over a week every night by now.
Jeez. Crazy.
But Jen, there is Elden Ring. How can he teach when he must throw himself at bosses and die hundreds of times?
Also true.
Heading out for now,
Sometimes
nerds.
sacrifices have to be made.
The Punisher. Goodbye. Have a good 4th. We will see you later. Make sure you're back on Friday. Don't forget. Friday birthday stream.
Yes.
Don't
Be here.
forget.
Hoosier said that's what happens when you have old neighbors who like to watch fireworks. Here, Isaac, buy some more fireworks, and hands over a $300 check.
Jeez.
You have veterans in your neighborhood that have begged people to stop, and other neighbors have literally told them to man up. It's gross. Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the way people get nasty around the 4th of July and start saying things like, it's my right to sell off fireworks in my neighborhood. And other people who are like, but it's scary to me. For as long as I could remember, up until, I don't know, 10 or 15 years ago, fireworks were not able to be purchased by the average consumer in Arizona. And so it was only organized fireworks events. And we didn't have any problems. But then people had to have their way. And they now put up like stands in the grocery store parking lot where you can go buy fireworks.
You know what I'm not looking forward to tomorrow? Not being able to go anywhere.
You can go places.
Well, Indian school is going to be closed for a chunk of tomorrow.
Oh, because of not until 7.
Does that not start until 7?
I saw the sign that I saw said that it's closed at 7.
Oh, I thought it started much earlier than that.
It doesn't get dark until
Yeah, but the
8:30.
parades and
Fireworks
weird
don't.
stuff.
I don't think they're gonna go parade.
Okay. I always get hesitant around holidays
Yeah.
where I live because they block off all the roads around where my apartment is.
General Ginkgo, hello. General Ginkgo said it's a great day, 5-day weekend, and the wife won a new 36-inch Blackstone griddle from work. What?
That's awesome.
That's freaking
That's
cool.
a good prize. Don't tell
Yeah.
people here. We don't give away stuff like that.
Yeah. Where's my 36-inch Blackstone griddle?
Jacob won it.
Dang it, Jacob! Jacob!
Well, now Jacob's going to want one. Fireworks in your neighborhood are kind of insane. It's one day a year that I want to move. Happens here in the UK for our guy Fox Bonfire Night as well as New Year's. I would much prefer if fireworks were limited to organized displays. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People just get crazy
Nope.
and dumb.
Nope. Definitely don't want one of those, Mike. I'm joking.
Yeah, like if a neighborhood can like join together and plan something, then I think that's cool too. I'm actually surprised our neighborhood doesn't do that. Like, hey, everybody, let's
Like an
gather in
organized
the
thing.
circle and set off fireworks together. They don't do that.
Can I cook with Age of Angra? Game mid Elay?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Wait, yes?
It's paper, so it would probably
Dude, if you can
make
cook
a
naked,
fire.
you can cook with
might
Age of
get
Honor.
one meal out of the flame that you could create by setting the game on fire.
It's gonna be so weird waking up tomorrow and not coming into work.
on a Thursday.
Yeah. It'd be very weird. And then simultaneously
I
also
feel like
really
Jordan
weird.
doesn't have a lot of weird things that go on in his life.
Yeah.
It's pretty normal. To be honest with you, pretty normal.
Not even legal, but people can get them across the border in under an hour. Ugh. Where do you live, Panda? I thought are you not in like Wisconsin or the Midwest?
Those shadows
somewhere?
are adding that nice little moodiness to it.
Yeah, I'm really liking the jade. The dark jade is nice.
Did you mix it with some glaze and wash medium and water?
Glaze and wash medium, about 2-to-1 glaze and wash, maybe 3-to-1 glaze and wash, and then I doubled that full amount with water, so it's very, very liquid. Right? It's super viscous or super low viscosity. It's like
Yeah.
water. So it's not having the same punch after it dries as it does when I put it on, but it's given that nice oomph. Just a nice blue green to bring out of the shadows is how I'm treating it.
So it's a great thing to do with your metallics after you do non-metallic is to go back in and smooth some of those blends out with some color. It does such a great job of, replicating real life by incorporating more color into the metallics and also just smoothing out some of the rougher textural blends as well.
British Panda, I didn't realize that fireworks were not allowed. I thought the Midwest was like home of everybody sets off their own fireworks. It was like nowhere around the Phoenix area to get them before they were legal. So you didn't really, you had a few firecrackers or something, but nothing like now.
I'm gonna have to wait on the noosh. Gotta wait until this is not tacky anymore. This is one of those other things you guys got to be careful of when you're doing like heavy gloss layers like this. Is you want to make sure that they are completely bone dry before you start introducing a subtractive weathering process like using noosh, because you'll just strip that uncured layer of varnish right off.
Telemachus, thank you for the sub.
Telemachus!
Telemachus said, I woke up last night to find the ghost of Gloria Gaynor standing at the foot of my bed. At first, I was afraid. Then, I was petrified. Jordan doesn't get it.
No.
I knew Jordan wouldn't get it.
I wish.
That's okay. So there's a 70s song called I Will Survive. You've probably heard this song.
I have heard it. Yeah.
Yes. And the singer of it was Gloria Gaynor.
Got it.
And the line in the song is, at first I was afraid, I was petrified.
Oh.
So.
Yes. Hoosiers, no, you do not. I did only because I wanted to get a richer, deeper, reflective blue on the armor. Remember how I was saying that I wish I had mixed in a little bit more of that gloss into my top coat with the blue.
It's a joke.
So I brought it back, and then I'm also going to use the noosh afterwards. And it'll filter over the surface less because I'm having more of a smooth surface as opposed to a matte surface, which will take up some more of that staining power of the noosh mixture. mostly what I wanted to do is to get into all the nooks and crannies, the crevices, and make them nice and dark.
Google just confirmed Gloria Gaynor is still alive.
And then the nice thing is that Noosh will give a little bit of a matte filter on top as well. It'll dry a little bit satiny, but not too bad. But it'll definitely be more matte than this. And then I'm gonna do a little bit of like sponge weathering on the armor. I'll also do a decal before I do the Noosh as well. And then this guy, I'll do a little bit of some fixing on the white on the face, and then I think it'll probably just be done.
Sean O'John said, would this same technique be good to establish OSL? And I don't know which technique was being asked about.
I'm
You guys-
assuming that they're talking about spraying into the shadows like what Jason is doing.
Okay.
Let me see how this would be applied in a my knee-jerk reaction is no, because you're trying to push shadows with this and you're taking away from the light area. Now if you overspray your OSL and you're trying to bring it back by pulling the shadows in, that could work. But this is definitely for darkening instead of brightening areas. Now, if you want to do OSL with an airbrush, there's a lot of really effective ways to do that. Generally, I like to start OSL with a little bit of an airbrush from the direction that OSL is coming from. And then come back in with a little bit of brushwork to brighten up and sharpen those areas of light where the intensity is going to be. Man, this looks dope.
Just a really quick process that, you know, as long as you're confident in getting the paint where it's supposed to go. Because the only big thing that I'm trying to do right now is not get too much of it on highlights.
Yes.
Right? I'm going over my mid-tone highlights, like my secondary reflection from the ground, and I'm hitting those, but I'm staying away from the top highlights. That's kind of my limiter, right? So I've gone over all of that.
Yep.
Areas where it's not super bright, I can go back and touch that up if I feel like that's too much. But, you know, it's really just making sure that that dark jade is very visible here and invisible here.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, the nice thing too is that it not only is pushing the shadows a little bit more, it's also filtering over your midtones.
All of the midtones are making the highlights really pop.
Right,
So.
exactly, yeah.
Rapster, yes. Well, we all in here will not, but Monument Hobbies will be. They will be.
Jason and I will be at Gen Con.
Cake did
Indeed.
cover I Will Survive, but Jordan probably doesn't know who Cake is.
Who Cake is?
Yeah.
No.
He's
No, I
not
do not.
going the distance.
The back of the
Going for
skull
speed.
coming out of the
Mm-hmm.
area with the sword there. So again, it's just really, I'm using a 0.2 needle, so it's a lot more precise, and allowing me to get into tighter areas. And then you just kind of let it, you know, cure a little bit, and then come back and say, okay, well, you know, I'd really like to see a little bit more of that color down here. You know, maybe a little bit more over these skulls. I'm using a unified shadow too, right? So I pick a color based on what I want the entire model to share as a light source or a shadow. And rather than, you know, getting in there and trying to pick 6 different colors for my shadow colors, right? Because there's enough on here that I could have done that, right? I could have looked at this and said, you know, what it really needs is to have, you know, a different shadow color sprayed on it for the bone, another one for the armor, leather, the skin, the sword, but I'm using a dark jade because it kind of pulls the whole model together. Everything, it puts it in the same environment because now the jade is the undershadow on the blade of the sword with the reflective, the shadow on the skin, the shadow on the mail and the plate, and even the gold on the hilt. I'm not doing the birds. The birds are going to stay with that purple undertone. I already did them when I painted the birds as we went back with the royal purple, and I did that with the brush. Okay, so they will have their own, which kind of keeps them separated, which they should be. But everything else from the, you know, the skulls, getting the dark jade, everything, it just gives a little bit more depth and pulls the whole model together. And so really what you want to do is just make sure you're using enough that all of the main visible areas of the model have got that color to tie them in. And then you're good.
It's very shiny, Jordan.
I know, I like it. It's funny
It's a
because
good color. I really like
like
the color.
Huh?
I really like that color.
The blue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I actually like it better than this one. I think this one ended up having a little bit more green in it.
Like we're,
It's okay.
Stream's getting a little wacky, maybe.
Uh-oh.
We only have 8 minutes.
Oh. Did Jason? The
Now
stream
it's
did not like it.
What did I do?
Nothing. Oh no, they're
Not.
cooking.
Oh.
No.
Oh. Oh, dead.
I didn't do anything.
Flatlined.
I didn't do anything.
Oh.
Oh, the internet's
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. It's yin yang in a whole bunch.
If the screen, if you can hear us and the screen freezes up, refresh.
Just refresh. We're almost done.
almost to the
but
end,
We
so.
do
Yep.
seem to be having a few minor issues.
Technical difficulties, as it were.
So filtering light over a finished model with an airbrush is not effective. Sure it is. Using transparent white, I could go back and do this. I'm going to use transparent white next, and I'm going to do the same filtering you just saw me do with the dark jade on the bright spots of the armor and the head. So I can bring and blend my rough highlights, and I can lighten them, but the transparent white will allow all those colors to remain, as opposed to doing like a white or ivory or something else, one of the other colors that I've used to put the highlights on the model. I'll come back with transparent white with the airbrush, and I'll do the shine on the sword, head, shoulder plates, chest plate, not the birds again. You know, that's probably it. Maybe some of the skin, you know, over here on the shoulder, back of the shoulder and hands and stuff, but just to dial in my contrast. But yeah, overall, it's really just a way to blend my colors. You know, I've used very rough brush strokes. I'll zoom in on him as soon as I get this airbrush clean. But, you know, what I'm doing right now is the secret trick that none of the Spanish painters want you to know. Right? When you look at the world of Spanish painters by and large and all of their amazing work, a lot of them, Sergio Calvo, Angel Heraldez, a lot of them do this kind of filtering with an airbrush. Use it as a tool to blend so that you can spend more time getting your contrast and your coloration right, value set and volume set on the model, and then use the airbrush to kind of do your blending, because otherwise you spend hours and hours and hours meticulously blending with the brush. And you can do that too, but you can do the airbrush to get you 90% of the way there or 80% of the way there, and then your brush work doesn't have to take as long, and it's spent in the highlights. So I tend to want to paint very fast and loose with models so that I can get the overall composition laid out pretty quick. He's real close to that clean out bucket there. And then do tricks like this to do the heavy lifting for me. Plus, it's always, you know, another opportunity to add a really cool color like this dark jade on him that I didn't use this color on that model at all and didn't plan on it. Just picked it at the end, thinking about looking at the entire model and saying, okay, what would help tie this together? You know, a unified shadow is a great way to do it, but also a unified highlight. I could come back with a warm highlight and spray the whole model and get all of the parts and pieces, because, you know, everything that you are wearing, regardless of material, is under the same light, right? So if I'm outside in the sun, right, then everything's going to be hit by that same color of light, you know, like a yellowish white. And so if I use a highlight color that is unified like that, whereas I've gone through the whole model and hit it with, you know, bright ivory on one part and white blue on another part, I can come back and do a light filter of a very warm color over everything. And it ties it together, puts it in the same room, is the way I like to say it, right? Because a lot of times we paint models and you can get to a point where some of them, while it all looks good, it doesn't feel like it's very unified. So if I switch, I'll do this. I'll switch over to the single painter screen, and then I'll...
Bye, Wad.
Bye, Wad.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th. See you on Friday.
Wad, take it easy. Right, so you'll see how sketchy all of my volumes are, right? You can see all my brush strokes across here. Not hiding anything, no special effects. This is every brush stroke you've seen me do on this guy across every single surface, right? And part of that is just the way I like to paint. So those textures help with the model long term, right? Especially on a guy like this who's pretty much like, you know, dead flesh and everything. So that's great.
He looks gross.
Right, yeah, I love it. I love the way his jaw is like all kind of bucked out, you know,
Yeah.
his jaw's not quite connected right anymore. It's a great model. You know, and so my rough brushstrokes, I still want to have it not look like, you know, your 3-year-old sketch from school with Crayolas. So coming back and using the airbrush and blending some of that in helps a lot. You know, like the roughness back here, the airbrush smooths a lot of that out, even though I'm using a very transparent layer over the top. right? It just kind of ties everything together, makes it look nice. This is a really
Crazy.
cool, like almost like horizon line
Mm-hmm.
that this has turned into. And you notice how I've used the rusty colors almost look like, like a reflection of the light on the sunlight on the dirt or something like that. So it gives it really a neat look, and you can play around with all sorts of colors. I'm not going for, like any kind of particular chrome kind of view of it. I just know that I have my brighter reflections pointed towards my light, and then some midtones with some secondary reflections, because the earth, the ground and other things will reflect back on it, but keep them dim. And so these are just ways to do that with that blending. Same on the back and the shoulders.
So that everything is so smooth when you're that zoomed in is insane to me. Like that looks so good. That's just crazy.
And you can keep the texture where you want it. Like on the leather, with the cracked leather, you want to make that more pronounced. I did the same thing kind of on the texture of the octopus, tentacle skin. So sometimes you want those textures to bring out. The stippling that I did on the skulls, that gives it kind of that weird, dried skull texturing.
I love that burnt orange.
It works really well in the eye sockets, right?
So good.
Yeah, using burnt orange on skulls is one of my things that I really love, because it makes it feel not necessarily like it's bloody skin, but almost like it's dug out of like wet soil.
Yeah.
Like zombies clawing up in a zombie movie when the rain is going on. That's the way I feel that dead stuff needs to be pictured, because that puts it so different in context to, like a dried out cow skull in the desert.
Yeah.
Is going to be more white and, that bleach bone feel. So I like using stuff like this. Your recent bone or skull short did that.
Yeah.
It used a lot more warm tones in it.
I use a lot
really
of
cool.
greens. You use
Like even look at the
oranges?
dark jade works so great as a dark shadow, and you might not even think you'd do something like that, but when you juxtapose it with the orange, right, it looks really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
It puts a depth on those skulls that, it sometimes you're just like, oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
All right, same thing on the sword. Even though it's very dark on the bottom of the sword, just go ahead and do it there too.
I love that texture. I know you weren't going for that Damascus feel, but it I look at that and I'm like, I like this kind of cool patterning.
Yeah, I really didn't know. I just wanted it to look like it was like if you touched it, it would be rough and pitted.
Yeah,
I just felt like that fit better with the guy.
like, you know how they do the beaten metal on the inside of a blade to make it contrast more against the the
same
sharp-
thing here.
Same
right?
idea,
Same
right?
thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's like they take it and they do a really rough hewn whole blade, and then when
Correct. And then
when
they
you sharpen
polish
and
it.
polish the blade,
Exactly.
it gets nice and polished, and the other part
then they
remains
have it-
rough, like forged iron almost. Yeah.
I
That's
love
kind
that
of what I was
aesthetic.
hoping for with this double-edged sword, is that we would do that, and then I just kind of put the heat-treated metal kind of purples and oranges on that for no reason at all, just cause.
I think this looks great.
Again, you just kind of play with color. If you're me, I just kind of work on it and play. Oh, I zoomed way out, didn't I? So yeah, that filtering technique works great. You'll see me tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow, but when we're back on Friday for the birthday stream, I'll do the same process that you saw me do today with the shadows. I'll do it with highlights. So I'll come back with white transparent. I'll probably come back with a little bit of a warmer color, like maybe dark warm flesh or bright warm flesh. Or warm flesh, and I'll do that, and I'll do some spot stuff on the skin, but it already has a lot of warmth to it, and I don't want to bring it up too much, but we'll play around. Because he's almost to the point where I'm really happy with him.
Yeah. Heck yeah. We are not Hive Mike. See you tomorrow. You mean
Law Dog says it's crazy how the skin zoomed in has a
Friday?
whole rainbow in it. Yeah, the goal with the underpainting that we did was to really give it, because your skin's not one color. It's crazy. Of course mine's not, because I have a bunch of tattoos.
yeah, you can see a lot of yellowness.
There's yellowness in here,
yep,
not even the
and-
paint, right? Just the
Yeah,
yellowness,
exactly.
pinks and reds, greens.
Yeah, you can see that green.
Blues and purples, so on a live flesh you get that variation in color, not just on the palm, but everywhere. And so how do you put that together in a way that doesn't make it look like a clown suit? Because when we paint, we typically tend to build base layers up, and so if you do that but you're trying to put that color on at the end and you glaze it in, sometimes that's really weird. It doesn't look right, or you have to be super patient with a billion layers of glazing to make it look like the color is underneath the skin. That's why when you listen to people do tattoos when they paint, the last thing you do when you paint a tattoo is you glaze the skin color back over it so that it places all that color subdermal. Because when you think about it in the real world, all of the veins and tissue and blood is all underneath the skin color.
Okay.
What?
I thought you were talking about when somebody was doing a real tattoo. I was like,
No.
Why?
When you're painting a tattoo, right? Because to make it look realistic, right, the tattoo doesn't sit on top of the skin. All this ink is underneath the skin. That's how come it doesn't come off. And so, but in order to cause that to look real when you're painting, you need to put the skin tone back over the top of it. Not to filter it down too much, unless you're trying to do like old faded, army tattoos and stuff. Then you can glaze a lot of skin tone over it and makes it push down and turn that greenish color. But, all of those are tricks that you can use by either starting earlier with those colors and then glazing your skin color over the top. Because when I paint skin like this, if you saw him early on, he was all sorts of weird colors. And then we started glazing the skin tones and the red gray and the faded green and all that over the top to give it that dead flesh feel. But we glaze the actual skin tone, which is different from the way your brain wants to think. You want to say, oh, my skin wants to be green, so I'm going to paint it green. And then you're going to figure out how to make the blood and everything appear later on. So,
Hi, Aaron.
hey, see what's going on.
We got a raid. Looks like.
Well,
I
that's
can't
bad
tell.
timing.
Yeah, I know.
That's bad timing. We're on the way out.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome.
Howdy.
Ooh.
Howdy.
This actually reminds me. Aaron, are you going to Nova this year?
It makes it easier for you to raid and run. You're like, I'll drop the kids off. Bye.
This year, no.
Not going at all.
Are you going to be at Essen? I think you are. I feel like I remember asking you, and you said yes.
Crypt Shadow AC was calling you old. Are you? And bullied you? So the thing that Aaron won't tell you is he acts a lot like a really old man when he's out in public.
Does he?
Oh, yeah. Like, I'm like a spry 15-year-old next to that guy. He's like, man, I don't know. I just want to go back to the room. He was bullying all of chat. Don't let him fool you, man.
Mate, I don't hide that.
He's a grumpy old man.
Oh, man. It's funny.
He's a grumpy old man. But you guys joined us right at the end. I was talking about filter. We just did a bunch of airbrush filtering of the shadows and stuff on the model tomorrow. Or not tomorrow. I keep saying tomorrow. But we have our July 4th weekend holiday. We'll be back in on Friday for our birthday stream. So 2 to 4 p.m. Arizona time on Friday. It's our anniversary as a company tomorrow as well. We'll be celebrating that on Friday with some giveaways and fun painting. I'll be doing the highlight filtering with the airbrush on this guy on Friday so we can get him done. That should be the final wrap-up. I'll have to do a little bit of brush work after we do the highlights just to tie it all back together. But right now it's coming together pretty well. I'm digging this guy. Tomorrow Monument stream will be amazing. We won't be here, Mike.
You're all welcome.
Aaron, are you okay? You're now closer to 2004 than 1985. Damn it. Damn it. Don't tell me. I'm 54. I know this. Thank you for the painful reminder. UK voting is tomorrow. On Damn Yankee Day. You guys vote on Damn Yankee Day?
That's funny. That's really funny.
Look forward to the special stream tomorrow for the frame demo and the Fulgrim building. Yes. Yeah, that'll be on Aaron's channel. AC Miniatures tomorrow during UK voting. He will be building our models for Golden Demon.
Yep.
We sent them over to him, Mike.
Yep. In fact, I think he's going to be building a second one.
Oh, yeah, he's already painted one.
I think he's already painted one, yeah.
Game Delay says, Jason is only 8 years older than I am, but has made so much more paint. I mean, it's things for you to aspire to. Game Delay. UK voting, something, a bunch of spilled tea. It wasn't about tea.
I'm going to be honest. They don't drink that much tea.
It wasn't about... Oh, they do. They do.
In my anecdotal experience, I was surprised at how little tea they drink.
The Prime Minister has a time to call votes, and it seems to be coincidence to land on that date. Oh, he has a range where he can say, all right, we're going now. Does he have like what? He has to tell you like 24 hours in advance. Oh, yeah, by the way, tomorrow's vote day. Click. They put it on their website. It's like a blurb at the top. Oh, sorry, nobody voted. I guess we're all still in power. Da rats.
Y'all missed it.
Da rats. Always look for the incentives in government decisions.
I mean, to be fair, when I was staying there, there was a
Mike, I will kill you.
hot water pot in the room with tea. So there was the ability to make tea in the room.
Sarah is essentially fueled by tea. She just runs on it. She got like an IV. It wasn't about the tea. That was just for the love of the game. That was just to piss him off. Oh, taxes? Let me tell you about tax. It was actually about paying the judges, believe it or not. If you dig deep.
Really?
Yeah, the judges were on the Crown's payroll.
Oh, jeez.
So nobody thought they were getting fair assessments in the States because the Crown was making the paying for the decisions. The sweet relief of death, Jason worth it. What? Don't give me that.
I'll catch you up, Jen. We got a raid from Aaron.
Yeah,
AC
I
Ministers.
saw I saw AC Ministers in chat. I'm like, well, who am I gonna raid now?
I think
I was looking for raid.
I
place to
just
raid.
saw Eric up there.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's surprisingly quite a few people.
Yeah, for a Wednesday,
Yeah.
we've got quite a lot of
Normally
options.
we have a hard time on Wednesday.
It's really crazy.
Yeah.
Holy cow,
What the heck?
everybody came back from the dead.
I know.
Well, looks like we're going to raid Eric Swenson, gang, so stick around for some more amazing hobby
Yeah.
work as we go off into the evening. Hey, as a matter of fact, when you go over there, I want everybody to call him old. Right?
That man is not old. That man is not. I mean, he does act like an old man.
He acts like an old codger.
Yes, he
He's like
does.
the old paint wizard.
I love that guy.
I think he's really 17 years old. So,
he does have a wizard's beard, though.
yeah, he does.
That man's been growing it out for a long time.
But everybody, thanks
He's
for
a
hanging out
sweet,
with us. For
gentle
everybody that
soul.
just rated, please hit that follow button. I'm sorry you joined us right at the end, but we do this 5 days a week normally. Normally we do this 5 days a week, and leave poor Eric alone.
I love that man.
And so we'd love to see you back here. We do 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. U.S. Arizona time, which is Mountain Standard Time. So check it out. Join us anytime. We'd love to have you back. Also, Jen just put out the links there for our web store where you can find all of the Pro Acryl paints that we make. We are the manufacturers of Pro Acryl and our Pro Series brushes. So you can check out all the hobby supplies that we make that we use live on stream there, as well as a bunch of our miniatures. Our latest Crone texture trainer has hit the store here this week. So you can pick her up along with the other 2 texture trainers. Great stuff there. And then also our YouTube and our Discord links and our FLGS link, so you can find if there's a store close to you if you're international. We do have international partners around the globe that sell our stuff and can get our stuff. So if you ever are in the look to try it, hit them up. Support your local game store. They do all the hard work.
Game delay, you're gonna have to ask him.
He has a wizard's beard, but does he have a wizard's other parts? Okay, that's what I want everybody to do when we hit Eric's. Is like, hey,
Tell me about your wizard's butt.
tell me about your wizard's butt. That's the key. Everybody, tell me about your wizard butt. Say it with me. Tell me about your wizard's butt, Eric. All right, now we're going. So show some love in the chat when we wind up over at Eric's place and ask him about his wizard's butt. We'll see you later. Have a great 4th of July, gang.
Happy 4th
Bye.
for those of you in the U.S. and be here Friday for our anniversary/birthday stream. Bye.